Sweet mother of cigarette butts, it's cold out here. There's definitely no mistaking that the season is changing here in Ontario. I think the last time I made one of these videos I was complaining about how hot it was. I should probably shut up and just stop whining. I just realized the other day that I haven't made a bike video in quite some time. And I guess now is as good a time as any to make one. It's about that time of year when I start to think the MR2 and the Harley are going to be going away for winter storage real soon. And I probably should have gotten a whole lot more video content with them before I do that. And I remember this happening last year too, and oh well, guess there's always next year. Let's talk about my favorite modifications to my bike here. If you aren't already familiar, I ride a 2002 Harley Davidson Night Train. Nothing special. I don't consider this a custom bike at all. It's pretty much stock, but it's got a couple things done to it just to make it a little bit better. That rear brake squeal, that's free of charge. Is this chick trying to get the Instagram shot here or what? Is she an influencer? Instagram influenza? Quick, give me a discount code for a protein shake. Got some serious ADHD action going on today. What was I saying? Oh yeah, this is not a custom bike, I don't consider. But it does have a couple things done to it that make it a lot better in my eyes. Some of the things I did, some of the things the previous owner did before I bought it. And that's stuff that I would have done anyways myself. He just kind of saved me the hassle of doing it, which is awesome. I always see ladders hanging off the back of vehicles like this, and I'm thinking that's some Final Destination type of stuff waiting to happen. I'm going to take that one right to the teeth one of these days. I just know it. I can feel it. So the first modification on this bike that I love, if you haven't already backed out of the video because I've been rambling for too long, it's got to be the sound of it. What does that say? Stay off the tracks and stay alive? Don't tell me how to live my life, bro. So my bike, I bought it with a set of Vance & Hines Big Shot pipes on it that the previous owner put on. And I think they're the perfect exhaust for this thing. I wouldn't change them, not one bit. I love the sound. I'm still using the $2 microphone in this helmet, so I know the sound isn't going to come through the way that it's supposed to. In real life, this thing sounds freaking gnarly, man. It's definitely louder in real life than it is on these videos, but not too loud. You hear some of these bikes that have no baffles in them at all, and it just sounds gross. I'm not into that. The snap, crackle, and pop action sounds like a Honda with a fart can on it. These pipes have a nice deep sound to them, but they still have some back pressure, so it runs okay. And it's not just farting and puking everywhere it goes. But that's one thing I've never really understood is stock pipes on a Harley. I just don't get it. I mean, that's the best part about these motorcycles is the sound of them. It's what all the other manufacturers have been trying to mimic for years. I guess the only way I would leave stock pipes on a bike would be like on a touring bike that I was planning on racking up a whole bunch of miles on. And I didn't want my ears ringing like crazy or something like that from hours and hours on the highway. I could see the draw to it then. But on a bike like this, I just don't get it. You want to be heard. You want to... Any of you guys that know me by now know that I'm all about the character of a vehicle, and the sound is one of the biggest character traits of a Harley Davidson. Old man behind me in the Mercedes is smiling from ear to ear. I don't know if he's liking the sound of the bike himself or he's having a bit of a stroke. Let's hope it's number one. But just in case, I'm not going to ride in front of him anymore. Just saying, it's 100 points if I hit you, buddy boy. Wow, I'm a jerk today. Oh, dude, don't go in reverse. What are you doing? Don't do that. The next mod is one that I don't think I could live without after having it, and that's upgrading the headlight. I just bought one of those cheap Daymaker knockoffs off of Amazon. I think it was like 50 or 60 bucks. It's just like a typical 6500K LED. It's got the high beam and everything built into it. It's a lot like the Harley Davidson ones. For all I know, it could be the exact same one. Holy crap, this wind is trying to push me over. It could be the same headlight as the Harley Davidson ones from the dealership for all I know, but I'm assuming this is a Chinese-made one, and the quality seems good enough. It's never had any problems, and the original headlight on these Harley Davidsons, like at least on these older ones, this is like being in a wind tunnel. Holy crap! I might dump it. This might be the day that I finally dump it. But the stock headlight on these Harley Davidsons is one of the worst parts about the bike. If you've tried riding one at nighttime, especially like out in the country where it's dark, you can't see anything. It puts out, you'd be better off with a flashlight on your cell phone. And so upgrading to an LED unit like this one has made a night and day difference. I don't do a whole lot of riding at nighttime, but for the little bit that I do, it's makes me feel a whole lot safer. I can see better, and I know that other people can see me better, so that's a pretty big deal when you're out here vulnerable on two wheels. Another one that I don't think I could get rid of now is these risers. I upgraded to these drag specialties. I think they're 8-inch tall risers over the stock 6-inch ones. And I'm 6'3" on a good hair day. And the stock risers were just too low. I was felt kind of like those beachcomber bars or whatever that are like right down by the tank. So these ones popped it up just an extra 2 inches, which I think is kind of the sweet spot because I didn't need to swap out any cables or wiring or anything. All that stock stuff, it was long enough to reach. I think I rerouted the one throttle cable maybe, but everything, it's totally fine. And it just gave me those extra 2 inches of height so my shoulders aren't as sore from riding long distances. Plus they look cooler too. But I definitely can't see myself going back to the stock risers. These ones, they look cooler and they're a lot more comfortable. If anything, I could see myself going taller in the future just because I am a taller dude. And I don't think I'd go like full cholo weight hangers or anything, but excuse me, pardon me. But I could see myself going a little bit taller, like maybe mini apes or something. I'd like to still be able to feel my hands when I'm riding though, so let's keep it within reason. Let's keep the blood flowing through them, but yeah, I kind of like the idea of taller bars. Maybe that'll be something in the future that I'll switch to. I'm sure I'll have to do something with the cables and the wiring then at that point though. The next mod to this bike that I'm really a big fan of, it's not really a mod, is a paint correction. This bike is a 2002, so she's no spring chicken. And being straight gloss black, you better believe she had a few scuffs and bruises, let's say, from over the years. And when it comes down to it, if something I own is painted, it's gonna get corrected. That's just the life I live. I love this crap. I like shiny paint. I don't like swirl marks. I like making things look better than the average version of it. But the biggest thing that I find helpful on the motorcycle is not necessarily the paint correction itself, but the ceramic coating that I did afterwards. And I'm not a huge fan of ceramic coatings like some people. I just think every single vehicle needs them, but motorcycles are definitely one that could benefit from a ceramic coating. Man, this guy's dressing for success right here. But ceramic coating on a motorcycle is pretty helpful because in this bike's case, a straight gloss black shows every little imperfection, every scratch. And so the coating, not necessarily the hardness, that's a common misconception. It's more the deflection of the coating that keeps things from digging in and scratching it. But either way, it makes it a little bit harder to scratch, which is a good thing. But the biggest thing for motorcycles is that it makes them easier to clean up. One thing that I've found since ceramic coating this thing is that bugs are a lot easier to remove. If you own a bike and you've spent any time out on the highway, you know that you get plastered with bugs all over the front end. It's totally normal. And ceramic coatings make it a little bit easier to get those off. You don't have to scrub as hard, and just a little bit easier to live with. Why are you on your brakes? There's nobody in front of you but a green light. final mod on this bike that I love has got to be the Harley Nest lowering kit on the rear end. That's another one that the previous owner did before I bought it. And from what I know, it's adjustable. And I'm going to guess this one is probably at least lowered by 2 inches, maybe more. The rear tire definitely tucks up into the fender nicely. And if you've ever seen one of these older night trains when they're stock, there's definitely some gap between the fender and the tire. Now I know a lot of the Dyna guys upgrade their rear suspension, and it usually ends up raising the back end of the bike. But that's a different game they're playing, man. Like, they're doing that, I'm sure it handles better, and it's better for bumps, better for wheelies, that kind of stuff. But these night trains are Softails. If you know anything about Softails, they weren't, how do I put this? They weren't designed with performance in mind, first and foremost. Let's say that. The whole idea was it's supposed to look like a hardtail, so you don't see any of the suspension exposed on the back. There's no big shocks hanging off. It's a really clean and smooth look, and I love it. But there's no denying that these things handle like wet noodles in the corners. And I don't think that this old girl's front end is coming up into the air anytime soon either. So on a bike that's meant more for looks, I don't see any problem with making sure that it's just for looks still. What do we got going on here? We got a left turn arrow only, and then a sign that says no left turns. Well, I guess it's a good thing I do what I want anyways, Kitchener, because you don't know what you want. So the Harley Nest lowering kit, I don't really know how much they cost or how hard they are to install. But if you want your bike to look cool, it'll do that for you. Oh crap, that's a police station. Easy little heifer. I gotta say though, just cruising around on city streets here at lower speeds, this weather actually hasn't been that bad. I was expecting to just be freezing like crazy, but it's not terrible. To all my fellow northern riders out there, do you guys do this too? Tell me down in the comments. But every year, just before I put my bike away, I like to go on a few like purposely uncomfortably cold rides, whether it's snowing or half raining or whatever, just to make myself not want to do it for a little while. It sounds stupid, but I'm curious. Does anybody else do that? Kind of force yourself to fall out of love with riding just so you're not itching to ride all winter long then? Comment down below. I want to hear from you. Me first. That is, of course, if any of the 3 people that subscribe to this channel for bike content are still around. This video might be a little, too late, I don't know. Let's see how cold it is out on the highway. This is going to be the real test. Gotta remind myself that gotta take these on-ramps a little bit slower with these cold tires and cold streets. That's not too bad. Oh, I just gotta leave right in the visor. Good thing I'm wearing the full face today. That would have hurt. Yeah, never mind. Okay, it is actually kind of cold. That wind. Whew. But anyways, guys, I'm going home. It's cold outside. This isn't fun anymore. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. There's not a whole lot of more motorcycle content coming because it's going to be snowing soon. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. These bumps are going to... Oh! Yep! Oh, yeah, okay.